Hello YouTube, this is Ready Set Exploit, and we're going to be doing Bandit from TryHackMe, which is a mini network that covers many vulnerabilities. Some of those vulnerabilities are HTTP request smuggling, which is a fun one. We also have some file upload bypasses and PowerShell injection. So the way it starts is we find a server that just displays some images. We see that the server is vulnerable to cross-site scripting. We utilize this cross-site scripting along with the request smuggling to capture the cookie of another user, which allows us to access that admin panel. This admin page really allows us to upload file that has a character limit restriction. We can bypass that and then get a shell on the Docker container, and then we find some credentials. Those credentials gives us access to the server itself, which then we find more credentials that gives us access to another Windows server. This server has a lot of restrictions on the commands that we can run, but one of the commands or functions really allows us to inject, is vulnerable to command injections, and we use that to escape the restricted environment. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and get started. So first thing is first, network is a little bit different. We have to register. This is all described in the task. If you are on the attack box as a subscribed user, you automatically have the VPN connected. Otherwise, you have to download the VPN file from the access page. But if we do efconfig, and I'm gonna grep, should be tune 0, if I can write. Greg, that's funny. There we go. Let's just do a bit more. Oh no, do 1. There it is. So that's my IP address, and the registration service will do the same. And the reason why I'm doing that is because if I do temp my IP, thm my IP, this is this IP address. If I paste that here, now I have my IP address always showing on there, which is nice. So it's gonna come in handy. And now we can do is we can register. Make this a bit bigger. So you're given the IP addresses already. So all we have to do is just and the credentials, which is register, and then your first 3 octets that's provided to you, and then what it ends in 250. All these instructions are on the task itself. The password is also just register. So we're going to register. It tells us the last 3, which again, we just need 2, which we know is 2. Well, the last one, not the last 2. It takes a second, and it gives us our target, and it gives us the host file. The host name. So let's go ahead and add that to our host file. I'm just gonna delete that one. fc host. There is Bandit. Escape. And now we can go ahead and start. Oh, now it gets it. Let's do an Nmap scan. Min rate 10,000. 2-p-, and it finds 2 ports, and it finds 4. Okay, that's pretty good, not bad, pretty quick. So now I'm going to do -svc to find version enumeration and run default scripts -on to save it to file called nmap.txt, the IP address, and now we do -p 22863180, and now it'll just focus it just on those ports, which will come in handy. So finish this rather quickly. We have port 22, which is OpenSSH. Okay, and then we have port 80 Apache traffic server 7.1.1. So we have so it's something to keep in mind. Okay, we have HTTP title Bandit. We have cups 2.4. So also version enumeration. Let's start opening our server, and for 8002. So let's go ahead and see, where did it go? P address is here somewhere. So we know port 22 is really nothing. So we have this. If we do Bandit escape, we're greeted with this page, which is nice. If we do, what is it? 631? 631-8002. Can't access this page. Okay. And this is the same as that, which is interesting. This is, so it looks like there's some kind of maybe reverse proxies showing from this page to that page. So we could just focus on this. So as we can see, there's these images that we can kind of scroll through. It's interesting. We can copy the image link, and we see what there's a store, uploads, and it looks like some kind of hash, might be the hash of the file. So that's good to know in case if we have an upload functionality, we know where it ends up and we can figure out how it gets this name. If it's random, that's kind of tough, but if it's not random, then we at least have a way to get to our files. First thing to notice is here, this web page is highly monitored and all input is sanitized. Your safety is our top priority. We also have a login page here. So that is, and we can tell it's running PHP. So that is good to know. So first things first, I'm going to start quick enumeration, go buster, dir -u php word list, share word list, sec list, directory, web content, discovery, web content, directory, lowercase, small. Do that. So it tells me everything returns 200. Usually when that's there, it's not the best option, so I'm gonna ignore 200 and 404. And luckily we're getting a lot of 301s, which is good. So we have an API 401 logout upload, so that'll come in handy. So we can work with that. Okay, I don't want to keep this, so I'm gonna do this -o go.txt. So this will be interesting. This upload directory could be interesting. There is a login page. Admin. No. So if we do upload, goes back to admin. Okay, so it looks like if anything, if we log in, we get access to the upload. So we have something here that looks interesting. If I search A, it returns nothing. If I do this, it returns nothing. And we have a filter here. So it looks like that's our parameter. It looks like it's most likely a GET request then. Let's see, doc to the right. Make that a bit bigger. And now let's try that again. So it is a GET request. Let's keep that in mind. PHP, okay. So let's see how this is being handled. Right click, inspect, and right here. So our value, we can manipulate this. So you see how is double quote, our input, double quote, less than? No, yeah, greater than. So we can, if we end the quote, right? So now it'll be quote A, end it, we're ending it ourselves, less than. So now our value, you know what? Let me copy that. Might just be easier if I show it. So if I do example, I'm gonna try for some fun little. So my input was just say, so if I do this, now this gets ignored, and I can do script alert. We'll do some reflected reflected cross-site scripting. And I'm just gonna copy this. Should be fun. And we get it. So it is vulnerable cross-site script, but it's just reflected to us. We'll have to find a way to either do store cross-site request scripting, but this seems to be reflective, which honestly won't get us much. So not all input is sanitized. If we were to try it without it, it doesn't return anything because it's being sanitized. So that's good to know that we can break out of it. But we don't have much to go on. If we look at our Nmap results, the only thing we have to go on is this. So let's look at that. Maybe there's something funny somewhere, not sure. And first thing that pops out is this is vulnerable to HTTP smuggling. Actually, we have a lot of hits for it. What is, let's do HTTP request smuggling exploit. There's this one right here. I'm gonna come back to this. So this says that Apache traffic server is vulnerable, CVE 2018-804. Okay, currently not much. So there's a very detailed report, and from 7.0 to 7.13, which matches our server. So this could be a pretty big hit. Okay, so there's request splitting, it's vulnerable to request splitting, cache poisoning. The one thing that really caught my attention here was this third line. When doing request smuggling, be very careful because you may trigger errors on requests sent by other users and for other domains. So it's not like testing a self-reflected XSS like what we did, right? So yeah, you could end up in court for that. So essentially, I think this site does a really good example right here. It's just the way the back end and the front end communicate. I thought there was a nice little graph here. Maybe it's not this page. Let's see, HTTP request smuggling. That's that. Is it you? Another site that did a really nice job with like, so like for example, it's a good payload. So yeah, sure. So see, so this is a good request smuggling like example. So this will be our payload, and the backend server from our end takes this, says okay, and then it's able to, but then it also handles this request at the same time. And instead of assuming you're supposed to get like 401, now it actually gets a 302. And we could do request smuggling with a lot of different techniques, like bypassing firewalls like this one, partial cache poisoning, okay, and cross-site scripting. So this could be it. It's, you know, if it, sometimes you just gotta try, different things to get it working. So we could give this a go. There's a lot of payloads here. Look a little like I'm trying to figure these out, but there's actually, with request smuggling, a lot of times the best try is to start simple. And we saw an example of one we could use. Oh, not that. This is a good one, right? So it goes post home, transfers code in chunked, and then we send our payload. But one that I thought was really, where'd it go? Is there another page? I thought there was. No. Okay. So I thought this was it. Hey, what happened to the page? I think I lost it. So yeah, see, so this is a good one. So post malicious request. Malicious request. So you could just play around until we get something. So what do we know so far? We know the page is highly monitored. That means someone is probably viewing this page, right? We know this gets sent via GET requests. We know there's a login page. Another thing I meant to show is if we look at our storage, we get assigned a cookie. So it looks like any visitor, maybe any login gets assigned a session. So our target is, can we use the cross-site scripting to steal the session cookie of whoever is monitoring this page, right? Hopefully. Let's give it a shot. So I'm gonna do something like this, and like the first one. I like that first one. It's very simple. Oh, there it is, like this, right? Something like that, so that when it gets split to 0, it works. So let's give it a go. So, okay, take a note of that. Show you exactly how that's gonna look like. So, minimize this. Can I split it? No, it's reverse search. First thing is I'm gonna do 2 terminals. There we go. LVMP 1337. I'm gonna listen on 1337, and I'm gonna do BIXXS. I'm gonna do import requests. URL HTTP 5061.2, and let's see, I'm gonna do, actually no, that's it. Oh yeah, no, 1337. It's nice. Now I'm gonna have to send the body, which is gonna be something like this. So now we're gonna send the backend request, and it's just easier to see how it's gonna look. Filter, you could also do this with burp. So now I'm going to copy, I think it was that. It was this. Yeah, something like that. We have to do build a request, HTTP, whatever. Now we want to replace, actually, so yeah, we want to replace all new lines with, there we go, all new lines with these. Okay, so headers, and now we need our headers. So we need content length is gonna match, so we need a string, the length of the body, right? Because that's what we're sending. And transfer encoding chunk. Chunk. There we go. And now you could just request get URL headers equals headers and data equals body. 13, and we got it. So this is what we're gonna send. You see, that's so this is gonna be a regular request. We just have to replace this with bandit.escape. User agent. So you see, this content length is literally just this, but the backend is gonna process this, the cross-site request. So how I'm gonna show you how that works. I already closed the tabs. Is what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, if the theory of request smuggling is correct, this is one session, this is another session. If I send enough of these requests, right? Whoever's visiting this site, I'm gonna do while true. That's how I'm gonna send a bunch of these requests. Whoever's visiting this site, because this is one session right now. So if I visit this session with this browser session separately, I should get the cross-site scripting. And I do. I didn't input that. My Python request is, and it's affecting me on a whole separate session. And that's important because, see, I'm gonna kill it. because that means it is vulnerable to the HTTP request smuggling, and that means that will affect any user that views the site. So now that we can cause a cross-site request on another session, we can steal the cookie. So I'm gonna do XSS. I'm gonna call it smug, and now let's see. I wanna steal cookies, so I didn't have to do all that. I'm gonna do document.write. Let's do image. I'm gonna URL encoded. I think is %D, 3D. Yeah, HTTP. I think it's %3A. RIP. Let's see. I'm gonna do 8002. It's the random image test.gif. %3F. Cookie %3D plus the document cookie B plus there. I think I'm gonna close that. There we go. So let's give this a shot. Let me just double check everything. So when I do the document write, image, okay, source and 3. Oh, I mistyped here. No, wait, that's correct. No, that's right. Yeah, there we go. F cookie, yeah. Okay. Okay, good. Things gonna be okay. Let's give it a shot, shall we? So now I'm gonna listen on 42, and let's hope this works. And hopefully, within a minute, we capture someone's cookie. And this is, I think, my favorite part of this whole challenge. You know, being able to put all the little bit of pieces together to capture exactly what we need. You know, and what I should do is just keep revising my script in case I mess something up. Let's see, smug. Now let's do this. Okay, so my IP address is correct. What I should do is maybe do that. Okay, I'm not getting a response yet. Well, you know what I should do is, let's see, HTTP Bandit escape. And did I catch anything? No, okay. So I'm missing something. Let's take this. And do a URL decode. Let's do this. Let me decode it here. Sure. Sure, it's okay. So script document write image. Okay, so my source is good. Okay, there we go. So this is what I'm missing. Why do I have so many? Okay, there we go. So that's wrong. This is wrong here. So let's fix that. Let's see. Okay, let's see. So plus document cookie, yeah. So right plus there. So let's see if we can play around with this. It's encoded. Let's actually send this. Let's capture it. Should work. Okay, so messing up my payload somewhere, because it should reflect back to us, right? We're listening, so document right. Did I put the final? Oh wait, what's this? That's why I'm missing my payload. Still not listening. Okay, so there it is. So I am missing, something's being blocked here. Oh. Where'd it go? Alright, so let's try this again. So let's see. Document right, image right here, image source CGP x1.2 802 test.gif cookie document cookie and script spelled out. Okay, and this is ours. So now I have a payload. So let's try that again. Script. Thing about the attacker is not sometimes the most friendly when it comes to VI, which is huge for me. So let's see. Let's paste this. Okay, this looks good. Now we do it again. Let's hope this works. It should work. Try to miss anything. Did I decode? Let's see. So it's doing a double plus, but that's not the worst thing. I got a hit. Okay, so I'll probably just mess something up on my previous request. Let's save this so we can end this now. Cookie. It's gonna come in handy. So our theory worked. We have a somebody was visiting the page and fell for it. And now we can repeat, let's see, bandit.escape upload.php. And it didn't work. There we go. That was weird. So just had to refresh, but there it is. We're on the upload page. And let me make sure that it's still okay on the network. Let's extend my time. So we're okay. Let's looks like we have PNG, some kind of file upload, and we already know where the directory is. It's forbidden, great, even as our admin. Let's upload a file. Let's see if we could just do a random file. Touch, let's see, vi sample PNG, echo, hi, I'm gonna turn on burp. Burp, gonna come in handy because in case we want to do like any requests. Okay, that's good. So let's see, starting up, I'm gonna go ahead and go root, have thousands of files. Later, don't want to capture it. I am gonna go to the history. I'm gonna put it there, and where to go? Sample. Well, let's upload it. It worked. Perfect. Here, post request. That's not what I meant. Okay, so it looks like it's not checking for any extension. Can I do PHP? It worked. Okay, where did it go? If I try to upload it again, it doesn't work, right? This one just, let's see. We know, for example, that, let's turn this off. So let's go back to the main page. Oh, that's interesting. There's this weird new file there. So maybe that's where the files are uploading. So copy image link. And this can't view it because it makes sense. It's this definitely the file we created. Is it the MD5 sum? It's not. Is it not the content? Is it the name? MD echo -n. We have to do -n so we don't capture the new line. Sample PNG. So we're gonna capture the MD5 sum of that string. And that is it. 63 4F1. Yep. So it's going based on names. If I don't do the -n for new line, it gives me an entirely different hash. So definitely be careful with that. We did upload it before. So we just need to do this. That. Okay, so let's try that. And we know it keeps the extension. Oh, okay, so it echoed hi, right? Can I do, so let's do CMD. Let's go ahead, don't need this extra space. Do system. Let's do system. There you go. Get. Do get. CMD. There we go. Limit exceeded. So it looks like there's some kind of limit on here for the characters. Well, let's see. Smallest PHP get request system. Tiniest PHP system shell ever. Look at this. That's nice. Could work. Let's check it out. And that works. So let's do echo CMD PHP. All right. Then copy the hash. Now I'm going to turn burp again. Let's see, burp. Nope, it's blank. That's fine. Repeater. It was 1 ID. We have execution. Perfect. So we don't need this anymore. It's nice. So far so good. I think we're on our way. So let's recap. Request smuggling, capture the session cookie. We have upload. We bypassed the character restriction. So now we just need a reverse shell. Payload all the things. Reverse shell. Let's see. Could do the standard one, but let's do, where is it? OpenBSD. I like this one. Okay. NC LVMP 1001. And I hope Netcat's on there. Otherwise, this won't work. Let's do our IP address 2 1, and it did it. Oh, no. Aha. Do we have Python 3? We don't. We have Python 1. Python 2. Nope. Do we have script? Okay, so we can't really upgrade our shell, at least not to my knowledge. That's gonna be a little tricky. But we can still move around. Let's see, there's a backup folder. We are in a Docker environment. Let's take note of that. So we might be looking at possible escapes. I think it was backup. Backup just has more files. It is a bit bigger. Oh, there we go. Okay. Can't clear. Let's go back one. API looks interesting. HT access, look that, no. API.php. Okay, that's nothing. Uploads, PHP, we could review the code. Authentication looks good. This could be the login page. And right away, first thing you notice, these hard-coded credentials to this 401. Save these. Creds. I think is safe admin. Safe admin. It's worth a shot, right? Bandit.escape. Yes. Pasted. We're in. And okay, so we have a reverse shell here. We honestly, well, I'll still need the internet, but I'm not gonna need any more of these. I could definitely close this. Not gonna need that anymore. I'll keep my shell. It's down here somewhere. There we go. We go. We have SSH access. We're part of the sudo group. Sudo su. And we're the root user. And we get our first flag here. Let's see. Let's do some enumeration. Oh. Cat history is always good. Okay, nothing interesting. How many users we have? It's an Ubuntu user. Let's check out our .local file. Share. PowerShell's installed. That is interesting. You don't see that often. And we have a console host history. That's basically the best history file of PowerShell. Okay, something interesting. There's definitely something with the Ubuntu user. Let's check that out. Oh, and it just took a chance there, but look, we have more credentials. And this is doing the PSSession. If you're not sure what that is, what is PSSession? It's to create a PowerShell session on a local or remote computer. Okay, but where? Here? We have bandit.corp. Whenever you see host name, first place you want to check is the host file. And it points to the IP address of our the Windows VM that's also highlighted on the task, right? So looks like we have a way of establishing a session there with these credentials. So let's go ahead and we could just copy this command. So if you're not sure, you could just use pwsh. That's how you can run PowerShell on a Linux host if it is installed. So there, we assign that to the variable. Assign this to secure pass. Okay. Credential. Okay. And now we just log in. Hope it works. Otherwise, we could have just set it ourselves, right? We're the root user, could do that. And we have access. Who am I? Okay, I'm that user, safe user help desk. Let's enumerate. Any other users? Oh, so we don't have a lot of access. Could do PowerShell hack tricks. So this also took some time, but if you kind of look around or look to ways to escape, we could use the get command here. If I can copy paste. So if we look at get command, so what is get command? Is gets all commands that are installed on the computer, because this seems to be very restricted shell. And this is all we have. Remove history, clear history, get option, get command. So we can run get command, we can get help. Services application. What's this? SP, okay, so that's not the same name. So this looks to be, because these others look like standard maybe? Oops. Like for example is get format data. Yeah, so some of these seem to be standard. So how can I show it? Let's see. Let's go here. There's a couple of show command info. What's that? You have a definition on this? We have 3 matches. Indicates this displays command information. Okay, let's give it a shot. So we could do get command show command info. So for example, we could do on get IP address. Okay, and it tells us parameter IPv. So this is the parameter right here, which just gets us our IP address. What's this one? This one looks interesting. Let me not delete too much. There we go. Invoke compression. So this is huge. This means that we can execute commands. Okay, it turns the expression or command. Okay, so it invalidates specified string. So there's many ways to do command injection on. So our parameter is filter. So it'll kind of look like this. That's not what I meant. So if we do this, we could do filter. Do A. Okay, the argument A does not work. It seems to also replace anything escaping, and then it goes to here. So if we can inject this, but see, we cannot end this string. Let's see, any command injection PowerShell, and a lot of like the PowerShell command injections are very like similar. See, we have proc PID. Bone. See, is there a good example here? Let's see. So we could do it with commas, colons, invoke dangerous, right? Let's see. It's this one here. This is using comics. Not a fan of it, but let's see. Command injection, PowerShell, cert util. What's this? Okay. Really great articles here. Well, we can. It's very similar to blank, so we could do something like we could try. So we could still pass a string. We just can't pass a double string for some reason. So can we try this? Nope. There it is. Because this is our argument. So this is what we ran before. But well, is that still restricted? It's not. As you can see, this command didn't run for me before. And it runs now. So let's see. This command injection is also found in another machine created by the same creator. So very, very handy there. And okay, so we can escape. We can essentially, we just have to see if we can get a reverse shell maybe. That would be useful. So let's see. I don't want to use the netcat on this box. I wonder if it has command injection here. Probably doesn't. Injection. It's only one match, and it's this one. Let's see. Static netcat.dnc, and this is a good one. Yeah, this has all these command injections, but I don't think it has any specifically for PowerShell. I mean, it does. It's a good one, but found one, so it's not too bad. So I'm gonna download this. Let's see, download here. Where did you download to? Oh, perfect. Okay. So let's close that. I don't need you anymore. But I mean, I do. lwrap. So first is I'm gonna name this that, and then I'm going to start a listener. Server 1337. I'll put you here just so that I can see. So now I'm gonna do PowerShell. I think it's already running on PowerShell, but let's see. PowerShell, we get HTTP 6.1.2 1337 nc.exe, and we're gonna save it to let's see, let's do double. Windows System 32 spool drivers color and c.exe. I think that'll work. Let's check it out. Oh, I got a hit here. So I did download it. And now I'm going to execute it. I need a reverse shell for this. A filter. There. So now I'm gonna execute. Let's hope that is there. So now I need my IP address 443-e cmd.exe, lwrap, nc, lvmp, just so I have a more stable shell. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to copy this and I'll tell you why in a bit. I'm gonna put you here, open another one here. I'll wrap nc lvmp 44443. Okay, so this is not the most stable shell. It will end. So I am going to see, I got a connection. I'm going to run it again. There we go. Because this will eventually just drop. Just the way the application works here, it'll just eventually error out, and then this would just lose. We would just lose our shell. And a good way to circumvent that in with Netcat and PowerShell and such is to just run it again. So even though this gets killed, or because it's still established, it won't always end. So there we go. We have successfully escaped. We can do that. Oh, okay. So maybe it did still end. That's kind of funny. Let's run it again. So there we go. So now let's do users. Can we view the administrator, or do we have to do privilege escalation? Okay. It ended either way. I thought it wouldn't. That's not too bad though, because we could just keep running it and let's hope for the best. Okay. Actually, what I can do is maybe let's give this a try. Doubt it'll work. But there we go. So now we can do there. Looks like we can view the administrator folder. And I didn't get kicked out yet, but there it is. We can get our root flag. And that pretty much does the machine. I mean, we had so many different escapes. We had to escape. So escaping was really the big theme here. The room name is Bandit, which is another way of saying smuggler. So that was a big hint. So it was another hint towards HTTP request smuggling. So again, we had to escape the input for the cross-site scripting. We use HTTP request smuggling to grab the cookie of another user. And then we use that to escape the character limitation on a file upload. We got a reverse shell, which gave us credentials so that we can escape the Docker container. And then we found more credentials so that we can get access to, so we can not really escape, but I guess, yeah, we escaped the Linux server to go into a Windows server. And then we found another escape out of the restricted shell to get to the main host, and we have administrator access. So this was a really fun machine. I had a lot of fun, and please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and see you all next time.